Let's get that out of there. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Jaymes Howell's Chiefs Talk. This time, Jaymes Howell's Chiefs Talk pregame show. We are in conference championship week, and we made it. And we made it for the fourth year in a row. We made it. Let me introduce my legendary co-host right underneath me, Chase Riley. Chase Riley, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Man, I'm fantastic. Yeah, no, it's still pretty early, man. It's noon. It's Championship Sunday, like you said, 4 years in a row. Man, we are one game away, man. We talked this morning, dude. I told you I'm fixing to get nuts today. So
oh yeah, I'm stoked.
It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I appreciate everyone that is tuning in with us tonight or today. I keep saying tonight. We usually do like an 8 p.m. podcast on Tuesdays, but, a little early. Look, if you are new here or if you're, a casual listener, you come here every single week or whatever, don't forget to smash that share button, that like button, that subscribe button, whatever platform you're on. Make sure that you never miss another episode of Jaymes Howell's Chiefs Talk. Time to get it. Donnie Ray, yo, let's go. Connie Byatt, aka Mama Bear, shared to every group. Appreciate you. Look, we got this is probably an understatement, but we got a couple huge games today. and just wanted to kind of get in here and talk about it and give our predictions. We said we were going to do it. We're here. We're going to do it. Holy moly, 19 people in on the chat. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that share button, that like button, and that follow button so you never miss another episode. Jesus, we blowing it up today. Let's go, Chiefs. David Lindsay, nice to see you in here again with us. Like you are every single week. All right, buddy. Let's start on the NFC side.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Rams versus 49ers. Go ahead.
So Rams 49ers is going to be 5:30 tonight on Fox. More than likely going to get that Joe Buck, Troy Aikman commentary team. Say what you want. Might be Troy Aikman's last game with Joe Buck. I don't know if anybody heard or not, but Troy Aikman was offered a fat contract by Amazon because Amazon's going to start doing their own broadcasts of NFL games next season. Which would take Troy Aikman away from Joe Buck. And then the rumors going around is that they've offered Sean Payton a contract to commentate with Joe Buck to replace Troy Aikman. So that'll be interesting. Troy Aikman's final game commentating with Joe Buck. Right now, the matchup, the spread is the Rams, 3.5 points. I'm taking the Rams, man. I think their defense is on fire. I think Matthew Stafford is playing really good football. Like I've said all off season, I'm a huge Sean McVay fan, huge Matthew Stafford fan. I think they get the job done against the 49ers today, which it's a little bit of a bittersweet pill. I don't like the idea of a team having home field advantage in the Super Bowl. So that's going to be really weird that the Rams are going to come in and be the away team, but have home field advantage. So,
yeah, and that'll be 2 years in a row. It never happened before in the history of the NFL, and now all of a sudden 2 years in a row, we're gonna see it. Donnie Ray Craven says Rams 35-17. Look, I'm also gonna go with the Rams. There's just Matthew Stafford changed the trajectory of this organization, and I love it because I'm a huge Matthew Stafford fan, just because of the fact that he has been held back by that Detroit Lions organization for so long. And so when he was able to get out of there, I wanted to see him flourish and really see what the guy had. Okay, and so then not only, is he set up, he had Robert Woods, which he doesn't anymore, but Cooper Kupp. And then they went out and they got Odell Beckham Jr. They went out and on the defensive side, they went and got Von Miller. I just think that this Rams team is too stacked. I know that the San Francisco team is very good. They're stout defensively, and they just don't have it. They don't have the firepower it's going to take to keep up with this Rams team. And this Rams team has a very good defense too. So, I'm right around the same ballpark as Donnie. I've got it, let's say 31-18.
Yeah.
Right.
The 49ers defense is really good. I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo being able to keep up with that Rams defense that is also extremely, extremely good. One thing to note here that I'm looking at, the officiating crew is Carl Schaefer's regular season crew, and they led the NFL with 16 flags thrown, and the Rams saw 92 flags, and the 49ers saw 117 during the regular season. So I think you're gonna see a lot of yellow in this game. So
yeah, it's probably gonna be a very ticky-tack kind of game. Brent Gregory, hey, thanks a lot, buddy, for tuning in with us today. He says Bengals by 30.
Yeah. Hey, Brent Gregory, take a step back and find your way out of here.
Yeah, heard that.
You came to the wrong one, my friend.
Right. This is the wrong podcast, my friend. Rams Chiefs Super Bowl is what David says. That's basically how I see it too. There's just I don't think you said that the Rams are favored by 3. That's the line right now.
3.5. Yep.
3.5. Yeah, I bet they cover. I mean, I bet they win by, like I said, the multiple possessions, 31-18. So, one love. Chiefs by 30. Man, I watched this guy on Facebook, and his name's Anthony. He's a blind guy, and he does these little reels. You go through like Facebook reels. This is completely not Chiefs related at all, but he's a blind guy, and he shows how he does things. Like, he's like, "Hey, I'm blind, and this is how I cook," or "Hey, I'm blind, and this is how I skateboard." And he's on like the Paralympics judo team and shit like that. But that's his thing at the end of all of his videos. He's like, "One love."
So, just kind of looking at some stats for this NFC game. Before we put this one to rest, I think we're all in agreement that we're taking the Rams. I would say that the ESPN has an FPI prediction. It's kind of like an IBM kind of thing.
Yeah.
They've got the Rams with a 59.5% chance with an average of 3 points. So everybody's calling this game pretty close. I don't know, man. Like I said, I really love this this Rams defense. Their offense they've got a lot of weapons, from OBJ to some running backs and then Matthew Stafford. So, like I said, I just don't see the game being that close by 3 points.
Yeah, I was looking at that ESPN earlier, and they look like they have it super close, within like 3 or 4 points each. I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. Jimmy G is not that guy. No. He's not that guy. And I know Deebo Samuel is such a multi-threat, and he's very talented, but he can't do it all.
Yep.
And so
they got a lot of weapons. Like I said, they got a lot of weapons on that Rams defense. Even Eric Weddle's coming in and playing lights out football, and the dude hadn't played football in 2 years. So
and that's another acquisition. I mean, they're stacked. They're stacked. Anthony Humphries seems to think one underdog team will make it. It's not going to be Cincinnati. I tell you that. Well, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to happen. Speaking of, let's go ahead and talk about that AFC game. Let's get it, Corey Richardson, a.k.a. my brother. What's up, my man? Thanks for tuning in with us today. Yeah. That's two in a row, bro. I'm pretty impressed that he's keeping up with it. I like it.
Yeah, miss your face, Corey.
Yeah, you need to come in here and be with us more often. Come hang out more.
Yeah.
So look, everyone's talking about how the Bengals have already beat the Chiefs, and a lot of these experts are thinking that the same thing's going to happen. Here's a couple things. We played in Cincinnati last time. There was some extremely questionable, I'll never blame the refs, but there are some extremely questionable calls in that last game that happened at some very inopportune times for Kansas City and benefited the Bengals greatly. I don't think it happens like that this time. Does Jamar Chase get 266 yards again? Not a freaking chance. Not a chance. Now, does that mean that we're going to shut him down? No. Maybe I think that T. Higgins might have a rise in production over there in Cincinnati, or Tyler Boyd, or even their tight end C.J. Uzomah. They could have a rise in production, just like we saw from what was his name, Gabriel whatever. Oh my God. KC gonna F5 Cincinnati against the wall, boys. Funny story about that. So when we were younger, when we were kids, Me and Chase, we've known each other for a long time, and we grew up together on the same road, just a couple doors down. Well, my brother here, who is my younger brother, Chase for 420 wreck. Madden Simulator has Chiefs winning 34-17. Anyways, my younger brother, he was a little annoying at times when we were young. We were kids. He was like, I don't know, 9, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm years older than him, and he just wants to hang out. And, and I understand now that we're all grown. But at the time, it was an annoying little brother situation. But it kept coming down, and it kept being bothersome. And go ahead, Chase. Tell him what you did.
Well, if you follow wrestling any at all, even if you don't follow wrestling, you'd have to live under a rock to not know who Brock Lesnar is.
And if you do follow wrestling, go check out CR Media. They just got a new podcast that's up and running.
Yeah, absolutely. And last night they showed I appreciate that. Last night they showed a nugget of one of the small guys that's in the new Jackass movie. Was talking smack to Brock Lesnar at a restaurant in St. Louis, and Brock picked him up and F5'd him on the table. And I could tell you what happened to Corey was far more aggressive. Is your mom still in here? I really don't want to tell.
I'm pretty sure she knows about it.
I was gonna say I don't want to tell this story if your mom is still in here. So I took 9 or 10-year-old Corey and F5'd him up against the wall.
Oh man!
And it was like a cartoon. Like Corey hit the wall and just slid down.
Oh man. We did him some dirty when we were younger.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave that kid a wedgie so bad I put his underwear over his face.
Oh man. And upside down in the trash can and shoved into the dog kennel and thrown down the stairs. And
the dog kennel was the best one.
Oh, by far.
By far, yeah. When we put him in that dog kennel and he did like 4 flips down the stairs.
He went real smooth for about 2 steps.
Yeah, and then we were like, Corey, are you alive? And like we couldn't hear anything, and I was like, oh man, like this is it. And then he pops out of the dog kennel and he's like, let's do it again.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. I just don't think this is gonna so that's what brothers are for. I just don't think that this is gonna be. I don't even think this is gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be. Now, I want to go ahead and toot my own horn a little bit, because if you remember throughout the whole season, which AFC team other than Kansas City have I been the highest on?
Cincinnati.
That's been Cincinnati. It was Cincinnati, and so and here we are, and I knew that they were a good team, man. They had some inconsistencies, and they've been able to mask those inconsistencies during this playoff run. So
Joe's a really good young quarterback. He's got a great future ahead of him. I mean, as far as young talent in the AFC, the AFC is just stacked at quarterback. Herbert, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes,
Lamar Jackson.
I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine if Deshaun Watson gets to come back? The AFC is just stacked at young, bright, future quarterbacks. And Joe Burrow's had something to complement him. Every good quarterback needs a good complementary wide receiver, and he's got Jamar Chase in Cincinnati. What stands out to me about the Bengals, 9 sacks.
Yeah.
9 sacks allowed by the Tennessee Titans defense last week, and that they've still found a way to win. The reason why is because Tennessee couldn't capitalize on those 9 sacks. I said before the game, I said last week after the game, you let Kansas City sack you 9 times. I promise you, I put my house on the fact that Kansas City will capitalize. You give Kansas City half those sacks, Kansas City will capitalize.
Yeah.
I'm not wanting to disrespect the Bengals so much, so I'm not gonna say that it's gonna be a blowout. I think the game on paper will show closer to what it is. Because I think towards the end of the game they're going to get some high bombs to Jamar Chase or whoever to score some points. But I've got the Chiefs winning by at least 17.
It looks like the spread is Kansas City by 7.5.
Yep.
And that's about where I got it. I don't think I got it a little bit further than that. I think Kansas City wins by more than that. Probably by 14 or more. Like I said before, one of the biggest things was the fact that there was a lot of questionable calls last time. This time around, the officiating crew that they have is known to throw the fewest flags out of all of the NFL 17 crews, and that's true this season as well. And so, unlike the NFC, I think we're going to see a lot of just let them play. Yep. And that plays into Kansas City's favor. Our defensive backs, our cornerbacks, our safeties, they're very physical. They're very
little handsy, but
and that's okay. That's how they play ball. And sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. Yeah. So, and this time I see them getting away with it more often than not. So I think that's a big deal. Also, with the motivation that's been given, we've heard all this stuff about Joe Burrow thinks the SEC is louder than any NFL stadium. Now, to put some context on that, that was a statement made back in like October, and it was brought up recently to kind of fuel the fandom fire.
Yep.
Which that's fine.
Absolutely.
Arrowhead's going to be rocking.
Yeah.
We're not playing in Cincinnati this time. We're playing here.
Yep. 75% of the fans going into the game today don't know that comment was made in October. They think that comment was made recently, and that's okay because they're bringing a lot of noise today. A lot. So Arrowhead,
if it was anything like last week, when we went last week, it was nuts.
Yeah. We couldn't talk. We couldn't talk for 2 or 3 days afterwards. So we did Jaymes Howell's Chiefs talk, and I was feeling pretty good. My voice was, but you were still a little raspy from that game. But it was loud. There was quite a bit of Bills fans there. So
this is why I laugh when like every once in a while we'll put posts out and we get. Anytime I'm negative about any of the players, is we get these negative responses. Oh, you're just a hater. I just laugh at people like that. Get out of here, bro. I'm the biggest Chiefs fan you'll ever meet. Yeah. I give it my all. I go out there to the game and I leave and my shit is raw,
So the FPI on ESPN has the Chiefs at 69.6% by an average of 6.7 points. And then it looks like I said, all the crew is really kind of betting on the Chiefs this time. I'm doing the same thing. Like I said, I think it's going to be a little bit closer just because they're going to get some garbage time touchdowns. But Matthew has been cleared. Matthew's going to play.
Back.
Yeah. So
that's going to be big because if we remember, we talked about this midseason. There was a point where Rashad Fenton was the best cornerback in the league, and he's been out the entire playoffs. So, we get him back, and that's going to help solidify. We get Tyrann Mathieu. That's going to help solidify some of the communication issues in the back end. And I think we're going to see a different secondary than what we've seen the previous couple games. So I've got the Chiefs winning. Let's go 34-21, Kansas City.
I like it.
And Eddie Howell, a.k.a. my pops, 31-24, Papa Bear. 31-24 Chiefs.
I like it.
Yeah. So what you thinking?
For final score, I'll go I'm going to go 37 24. 37-24. I see Donnie's score just came in 42-10. Man, Donnie, I don't hate it. I like good games, man, but for today, I'd be okay with a good game. But man, I would just go ape shit if that happened. If we just stomp them into the ground 42-10. Yeah.
I think we're gonna easily win it. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No,
stomp them into the ground. That'd be great.
Yep.
Duck a good game.
I think he meant fuck a good game, but that's okay. Let's eat.
Heard that.
Yeah,
damn autocorrect.
There's there's just some crazy things. I just don't see. I don't see this being the same team that the Cincinnati played in December.
Look, bro, I just realized my picture is fucking mirrored. It's been mirrored the whole time. Look at that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, you're good. I wanted to, we're coming on. We just wanted to come on here real quick, give some predictions, talk to you guys a little bit, do a little pre-gaming. I did want to bring up, however, about yesterday. There was a story, and we could talk more about this Tuesday, but because it is a huge story, I did want to bring it up. Adam Schefter, who is on his final contract year with ESPN, announced that Tom Brady would be announcing his retirement.
Right.
And then Tom Brady's team, Tom Brady's dad, and everybody came out and were like, yo, it's not true. So just a crazy day yesterday, because it was just story after story after story of, hey, he said it, hey, he didn't. I don't know where they got that from. He didn't say that. He's not retiring. It's still up in the air. So just wanted to bring that up. And then I know the other thing I wanted to bring up too was Arnett, who was the defensive back for the Raiders. We brought that up about the Chiefs signing him to a future reserve contract, which means that he wouldn't go against the team's cap or the team's 53-man roster until the start of the offseason. He was arrested on possession of a deadly weapon and drug charges on Friday and was cut by the Chiefs immediately. So,
which I could not believe it, bro. Like you already got yourself into some ish, you know,
and you're handed a second chance, like a second chance that a lot of guys aren't going to get, and then you
go do the same stupid shit that you did before.
Yep.
It's like if I smashed my thumb with a hammer, and then I turned around and I went and smashed my thumb with a hammer again, like immediately. Like, what'd you fucking do that for?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
just can't feel stupid. Yep. So
he also said, all thanks to Stafford. He said, I seen the meme. It said Matthew Stafford beat Brady one time and then beat Brady one time in the playoffs and sent him into retirement.
I hadn't seen that one. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, all right, my man. Well, I mean, I don't know about you. I'm super, super stoked. We have what, hour, 15 minutes.
Yep.
I started talking to you about noon or so, and God, it's been the longest 2 hours of my life.
Yep. I'm like I said, I'm about to head out. I'm gonna go enjoy myself today. God,
Are you going up to the parking lot?
I am not. I'm gonna be at the Eagles Lodge in Belton.
Oh
so
yeah,
that's
right.
that's my hangout spot. I can drink for cheap, and there's not that many people. There's not that many people there that'll bug me, and so I'm pretty. Like I said, I'm pretty hyped. So I'm I'm getting there, man.
Yeah, man. And
Yep.
it's more and more, the closer and closer we get, the more and more exciting it gets. I really think that we're gonna have a big game. Clyde's gonna have a big game. Jerick McKinnon's gonna have a big game. Oh, and one of the biggest, what we didn't talk about was Travis Kelce. I know we wanted to talk about Travis Kelce and how locked in he's been recently.
Yeah,
not just Kelce, but Mahomes and Hill too, like the trifecta.
Yeah, and it's kind of one doesn't get off as much without the other. And we kind of talked about earlier in the season that when Travis Kelce was out, it was kind of a good thing for Mahomes because Mahomes couldn't rely on Kelce. He had to unlock, he had to unlock that achievement of Mahomes magic and get the ball spread around.
Yeah.
And since the Pittsburgh game, my friend, I've seen so much of that not being the case. Like Travis is locked in, Mahomes is locked in, and when Travis is locked in and Travis is doing good, man, Tyreek Hill's out there killing it. Byron Pringle, McCole Hardman,
But I also think the rise of McCole and Byron Pringle, because they've really been helping out a lot more these past 4 or 5 games and contributing a lot more. I think the rise of those two players has really opened things up for Hill and Kelce as well. I mean, they're all playing into each other. They're all complementing each other and allowing each other to make plays and opening things up for each other as well.
Yep. Agreed.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting. Mahomes has 700. What was it? I seen it just a minute ago. 782 passing yards and 8 touchdowns in just 2 postseason games this year. I don't think that trend slows down at all. Bold prediction: 4 TDs and 400 plus yards for Mahomes. I think he just has a heyday, and I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire has 2 receiving touchdowns.
I love it.
So.
I love it.
All right,
yeah, man, that does it for me. I think the only other thing I would say is I just got a breaking news on my phone that Josh McDaniels has signed to be the head coach of the Raiders next season, which is fantastic news if you're a Chiefs fan.
So yeah, if you guys are still with us, make sure that you tune in on Tuesday at 8:00. If you're not with us, still make sure that you tune in with us Tuesday at 8:00 Central Standard Time on Jaymes Howell Chiefs Talk or on CR Media. You can find it on Jaymes Howell Sports on YouTube. You can also find it on Twitter and Twitch. I think it's going to be on CR Media on Twitch. But come join us live and we'll talk about the game, win or lose. We're going to talk about it, and we'll preview the Super Bowl. We'll talk about all this big news, these coaching signings, the Damon Arnett, the Tom Brady issues, all this good stuff, man. We will talk about all that stuff on Tuesday. So make sure that you tune in, and the best way to make sure that you do it, make sure you hit that follow button. If you hit that follow button, you'll never miss any content. So until next time, guys, my name is Jaymes Howell. Down below me, over here, my legendary co-host, Chase Riley. And as always, stay legendary, guys.